Yo, what's good, my good people? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? It's another day, another dollar. I know what it is. Let's talk some real estate, but this time it's going to be a little bit different as far as real estate because we're going to talk about people who's doing the work that either dealing with real estate or just really trying to give back to the community. And this is going to be an awesome show. Y'all already know I got a big heart for outreach. I got a big heart for evangelize. I got a big heart for serving people. And most of y'all already know I run a nonprofit called Feed My Sheep Ministries. Now, with me running that ministry, I've met some incredible people throughout my time of doing it. Really serve with a lot of folks. Did a lot of things with people who were changing people's lives, and I'm just really excited to have people that I know personally or just met recently just to be able to come on the show and talk about what they do in their with the community that they serve, or just period shine some light on their good works and what they do. So I'm going to introduce these three guests that I got that was gracious to come on tonight, and we're going to get started. So gentlemen, forgive me, but y'all already know ladies first. So one of my first guests, and some of y'all already know her because she family, like she closer than blood, so that's just how it is. But my friend Pamela Price, CEO and founder of Life Ministry LM Foundation. Okay, it's a 501c nonprofit, and she's currently the executive director. And on top of that, she has Unheard Voices as a talk radio show. She has a blog program. She's created LM Foundation to be a mission to give hope to those who need it most. Now look, I had to snoop on her website. She done a lot of things. I don't know if I'll be able to read it all, but I'll give you a small piece of it. She can talk about the rest. But she man, wow. Okay, where do I start? Okay, so she's a board member for St. Jude Community Development from 2004 to 2016 and 2018. Committee chairperson for Rise Coalition. Whoop whoop. All right, she's a volunteer service to the community. She has received the President's Service Volunteer Award in 2015, 16. Oh, I was about to say and 17. Oh, I thought I saw that for a minute. I was like, girl, you on the roll. But she also got it from Barack Obama. Then she also got it again in 2020 from President Trump. Okay, man, Lord mercy, you give me chills. But she got she went to, let's see, she received numerous certifications and awards such as Sigma 6 Green Belt. What you, karate? Okay, she's actually from Harvard Business School. She also received certifications in creative and business development strategy. Lord mercy, let me bring her on because y'all need to meet this lady. Ladies and gentlemen, Pamela Price. I got you on mute. You on mute. All right.
Oh my gosh, Darian, you are so funny.
Look, I had to put look at all these words. I had to make it. I had to like. I was like, Lord, I got to jump on this one. So let me see. All right, I got another. I just met this brother. Okay, good brother. We actually know similar people. Shout out to BJ Page doing this thing out there. All right, so this guy right here, his name on here is Jeff, but I'm gonna be professional tonight. I'm gonna call him Jeffrey. My brother Jeffrey, he's the founder of Cementing Foundations Inc., which is a nonprofit. He's also founder of JRAS Annual Father's Day Cookout. It is the longest running Father's Day event in the entire DMV. That's what's up. And then on top of that, he also ran in 2018 for PG County Council seat. All right. We need brothers out here like this trying to make it work. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to y'all Jeffrey. Okay, what's up, brother Jeff?
How you doing? Good evening. Good evening, Pamela. Pamela Price. Should I call you?
How are you?
I call her black belt. Call her black belt.
I'm up here listening to him like read, and then he's like karate, and I'm like, no, that's not what that is.
So my last guest, good brother of mine. We work together. He knows me. I know him. He does great work in the community, and he also gives back with his own place. James Peteet, he's a native of Prince George's County. He's a librarian at Prince George's County Library. What he is in the corrections department in PG County. So he serviced those that's in the jail. Okay, that's what's up. And then he also is the co-owner of the Next Generation Event Studio that's located in Camp Springs. Y'all need to check him out. It's a beautiful spot, and I'm pretty sure he gonna tell y'all some things that he loves to do in that spot. He also holds a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Delaware State University. He's an advocate of financial literacy and support youth in understanding of reading literature. That's what's up. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me give you the man I just don't like no more. So now it's James Peteet, y'all. What's going on, James?
I really can't stand Darian sometimes. I appreciate you having me. I wish my bio was a little longer. I'm trying to get with the other two guests, man. I feel like I was a little short. I haven't done enough life yet, you know.
Hey, look, I had to, you know, I don't want to mess with nobody who do karate. So I was trying to make sure I kind of like, you know,
Jerry,
I want to make sure I respect it.
So for let me just clarify, that's not karate. It's not. So Sigma 6 green belt, that's all about strategic planning and learning how to streamline the effects. So they're called green belt, black belt, white belt, very similar to karate, but but it's all strategy and business development.
You know me, I'm the biggest joker you know. I gotta be joking after working a shift like mine. But
I know that's right.
But you know, on a real note, I thank you all for joining me this evening. I know you guys had a ton of things to do, but I honestly just wanted to just show light on the community tonight. You know, we talk about community engagements, about what you guys have been doing and will be doing in the future, so people can know, you know, who you guys are. Like, I feel as though those that's in our workflow, as far as either nonprofit or business that deals with the people, we don't get enough light shed on us sometimes because we're not running up numbers like, you know, other folks, as far as, you know, making certain types of, you know, comments or whatever the case may be. So, you know, but I honor you guys. I know what you guys do separately, and I want to shed some light on that tonight. Is that cool?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
I know, you know, I said a brief bio of you guys, but if you guys can give the, you know, the people a little bit more about yourself that I have not said that you want to share, so people can be able to understand you guys more. So Pam, ladies first as always. Start with you.
Well, first, Darian, thank you so much for having me on the show. It's always a pleasure to come together with you because we always have a good time when we come together on stuff. So I appreciate you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for allowing me to be on the panel with you. So I appreciate this. So so Life Ministry Foundation, Ellen Foundation, that's actually built from the experiences that I had when I moved from Connecticut to Maryland, and the struggles of going from being a 2-parent household to a 1-parent household. And through my journey, it allowed me to see a lot of the things that are broken. You know, when you're coming from a middle class, a strong middle class background, you don't get to see a lot of the struggles that others have when you're now like on that other side. So you name it, my family experienced it. We went from struggling to keep food on the table, keeping a roof over our head, staying in a home, and just rebuilding. So what Ellen Foundation is about, Life Ministries about, is to give those families who are at that crossroad, who are struggling to have a solid foundation. Ellen Foundation wants to provide that for them by letting them know that they're not forgotten. We're not replacing, you know, social services. We want to be that in between piece to give them some breathing room until social services comes in. And then, we provide toiletries and food and clothing and, additional resources. Like if their lights are off and, we want to make sure that they're not sitting in the dark for days and days on end. Or, when winter was here, we would go out and, make sure they had heat. We do a domestic violence program, same thing. And I've worked with Darian on a few things previously. So it's all about the family. And what makes Ellen Foundation a little different is that it's not just focused on one thing. It's not focused on just the women or just the children. you know the family, where they're together under the roof or outside of the home, the family unit has to work, and that's what we want to make sure that we work with the family to give them some healing along the way. So that's my short piece for LM Foundation.
That's the black belt piece right there. Okay.
That's it. It's just a short.
So James, you want to talk about a little bit more what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. And first and foremost, coming into this event space business, I wasn't aware of how many nonprofits there were in Prince George's County and all the work that they do. And so when we got the event space, me and my partner, we opened it about the end of 2020. I want to say around November. And the whole purpose of it was a space where creatives, where they can come and showcase their talents and their skills in the forms of classes and seminars. I say we know there are a million talented individuals in the county, and a lot of them just don't have the avenue to present those skills to other people. So whether you can create soaps, body butters, candles, or if you're into the trades, working with your hands, you always need a place to come and teach those kind of skills to people. Because as much as we love Zoom and StreamYard, it's nothing like that in-person interaction. So we want to create a venue where that was the main goal, not to have parties, because that's all cool. We can do that anytime, but we're all about investing in the youth. Hence the name, the Next Generation Event Studio, because we want this to be the place where the youth can get educated, whether it be those skills or even when the nonprofits come and do you all's programs. I want to have a safe environment for you all to do that. So that was really the purpose of the event space. And once I found out how much work nonprofits do and the little resource they have, I said, you know what, the least we can do is give them a space for them to do these programs and even have networking events and, just to get the word about what they do. Because a lot of us just aren't familiar. Darian had to tell me a lot of nonprofits and each individual thing that they do. I just had no idea. So coming to this space, I'm glad I'm in it. And I have someone like Darian in my corner to kind of point me to those people where this is the group of individuals that needs your space to do whatever kind of program it is, whether it's, collecting toiletries or blankets, or like I said, the classes on domestic violence, homelessness, whatever the case may be. So that's really what we got the event space for. And I'm honored to be here to discuss with you all how we can work together in the future in all the nonprofits in the county going forward.
Ooh, that's what's up. Brother Jeff.
Hello again to everyone on here and everyone watching. My organization is called Cementing Foundation, and with the emphasis on the MEN and the word cementing. And Cementing Foundations was born out of the JRAD's annual Father's Day cookout, which was born out of me being a single dad. I unfortunately lost my oldest son's mother just 3 weeks before his 5th birthday to a car accident, and so it left me as a single dad. And I did what I was expected to do. I raised my son, and so with that, Father's Day took on a totally different meaning for me. So I started doing my Father's Day cookout because honestly, and no shade against the moms, but it was just on Mother's Day, there's always the restaurants are crowded and there's traffic because everybody's trying to take care of Mother's Day. But then a month later on Father's Day, I would call my friends who had kids and I would say, hey, what are you guys doing on Father's Day? And they'd be like, oh, nothing, just chilling, So I was like, no, we need to do something because we need to celebrate, ourselves as well. So back in 1998, I did a cookout. I was living in Southeast at the time. I did a cookout at Anacostia Park. It was myself and about 6 friends, and we just had a cookout, and it was fun, great time. So from that, I just started doing it every year, and the cookout is now in its 24th year, and we've gone from having myself and 6 friends to doing 300 to 400 people every year from the community, where the cookout is absolutely free. It's always been free, and even years I didn't work, I still was able. The Lord helped me be able to put it on for the community, because what I found was a lot of people, I didn't see them through the year, but I would see them at my cookout. And one year, I just looked around and I said, we got to do more to help men, because as a single father, I was looking for resources that just weren't there for men. And it was kind of what I felt was the society was just told men, hey, you know, get yourself on your feet. So I felt I needed to take a part and help out men. And so that's where Cementing Foundations was born. And so I just do, my main thing is to link the men in our community with resources, whether it's job readiness programs, uh, teaching interview skills. I do a t-shirt drive every summer, as well as a hat and glove drive every winter. And I started a for-profit side of my nonprofit, which is called Village Mentality. There's that MEN again, because we're looking. Our goal is to strengthen the families by empowering the men in those families. Because I've always believed that if you uplift the man, you automatically uplift the family, whether that man is in the house or not, because that man feels better about himself, because he's more empowered. He can do more for his family. Again, whether he's in the house or not, he can be a provider, and that feels good financially as well as mentally. So we want to just do all we can to uplift the men in our community. And with Village Mentality, what we do is we contract with different neighborhoods. We do landscaping in the summer. We do snow detail in the winter. And every neighborhood that we contract with, we hire men from that neighborhood to work, and we pay them a decent wage when we go out to their neighborhood. And we leave feeling that we've changed someone's life, even if it's just for that weekend. We've changed a person's life and made them feel better, and giving them what I believe is motivation to do more, and again, strengthen your family.
That's amazing.
Got some deep folks on here, y'all. So some real deep folks on here. Lord, I don't know if I'm in church or else.
Definitely giving that feel. Definitely giving that feel.
So I'm gonna do things. Normally I ask a question for all of you guys, but just because I know you guys separately, I'm gonna go to each one of you, ask different questions, because and also for the sake of time too. So y'all preachers, be mindful of that too. but I'm gonna start with you, Sister Pam, because we've had our conversation of your future goals, and my reasoning of bringing you all together is not only to shed light, but to give you the support that you guys look for or need to get to the next level, or just to get further, to your goals. So, Sister Pam, I know we had a conversation about your vision, and like y'all know this. Let's talk real estate. Everything about us is for something with real estate. And Sister Pam, you are currently planning something that deals with a house. And I don't want to say it. I would like you to share so people can know the vision from your own mouth and how they can be able to get involved with that vision.
Sure. So, domestic violence holds a strong piece in Ellen Foundation, because my friend was a victim of that, and I was not able to help her. And looking back 20, 30 years ago, true domestic violence shelters did not exist. They don't exist today. They're shelters. And my goal is to open up a transition home in Prince George's County, called the Aspiration House. I'm really striving to open this up at the end of 2022, with the help of Mr. Darian. And so we can, help those families who are coming out of domestic violence situations, give them that foundation to help them, regroup, find some peace, and then start their lives over again. So that's the big piece on the organization, and I'm really pushing and looking for some place to house these women, these families. And then we're going to build on with counselors, and then some additional programming and training once we get the house settled on. So that's the big piece for us here.
And just to add on to that, the importance of this situation, because there's not many houses like that in Prince George's County. People may
Mhm.
do it, but they don't do it under the mentality that I've heard Sister Pam talk about. And they don't do it under a nonprofit. They, just take women in on their own
Mhm.
wing, because I mean that's part of tipping in any type of way. But one thing for sure, guys that's listening, I want you guys to reach out to Pam, towards the end of this segment, to kind of get involved of helping her get to her goal. Because us as men, Brother Jeff was talking about it, us as men feeling good, we should feel good about protecting our women, okay,
Mhm.
and also protecting our women from other men that really are foolish.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons I feel like I got all of you here for a reason.
Mhm.
I'm smart. I do things in a way that that we all can work together in some format. So thank you, Sister Pam, for sharing that. And
Thank you.
I'm going to move on to Brother James real quick. Now, James, we had our conversation of the vision that you wanted to do in your event studio. What exactly would you like the people to know that you would like to have in your studio? Because I know you've partnered with a lot of folks doing a lot of boys read programs, doing a lot of mentorship programs in your studio, and you're trying to bring in more of a crowd that shelters more of young folks to be able to get the proper learning sessions that they need to become better men and women for our future. And not only that, I know that you have a mindset to invest your studio for those that may have nonprofits. So can you speak on that a little bit?
For sure. To touch on the first piece, like I said, I was doing a boys read program when I first got to the library back in 2016. Did that all throughout basically 2021. Then I had to scale back a little bit because of my job at the jail. But I noticed at that point there needs to be more programs and a more frequent time frame. It's not just a once a month kind of thing. This needs to be an every week, 2 to 3 times a week, because the literacy in these schools they're very subpar from what I've seen. And I know there are people in the community that want to help, but they just may not know, well, where are these kids? How can I get in contact with them? Where's a time that these kids know every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Miss Pamela is going to be here. Mr. Jeffrey's going to be here to assist me. So those are the kind of programs that I want inside of our space. A boys mentoring group, a woman's mentoring group. I want things to talk about, even again, like the skills to build with our hands. I want us to understand those traits. That's where the money is. Even like Mr. Jeffrey was saying, when men feel better, like of course about economics, then they do more things. They can do better. Especially when I see the jail all the time, I would say 90% of those guys in there are in there for some kind of economic reason. So I would love to have you more financial programs inside to teach about financial wellness 101, to teach about the stock market, teach about bonds, teach about real estate, all those kind of things that is legal money, legit money. And it's not a get rich quick scheme, but it's something that they can learn over time from the experts in our community, because we do have them. And then, of course, when we go to the nonprofit side, just coming into this event space area, Darian has told me there are 1 million nonprofits in the area that don't have the resources, and they just may not know about each other. So what I really want to do is put together basically like a nonprofit mixer for you all to come in and mingle and mix with each other and understand what do each of you all do and how can we work together. Another thing I've started to learn is from talking with other directors of nonprofits. There, there may not be as many grants as I thought there were. Right, I'm thinking there are just grants all over the place for people to get, but it's very few when there's so many other nonprofits. So again, if some of the nonprofits can collaborate, and then we can get a bigger chunk of that grant money, then maybe we can work things out in a better sense, so we're not scattered all over the place. So I want us to get a mixer where we have speakers and activities, and just for us to get to know each other and how we can work, and basically get the whole county involved in things, because you never know what someone else may know or who someone else may know that can connect you to get the bigger goal accomplished. So that's I want to use our space for like that hub where nonprofits can come and mix and mingle and make these connections. So we're looking for April 22nd, I believe we said, Darian.
Mhm.
The time and date is tentative, but April 2nd is what we're looking at. That's a Friday. We're looking, I want to say about 6:30, maybe 8:30, 9 if we gotta, push it. But we'll figure out all the logistics. But that's definitely in the works, like a nonprofit mix and mingle. We'll figure out a cool name later. But yeah, that's what we want.
We just putting stuff together. but I'm gonna take off my realtor hat and put on my nonprofit hat real quick because and I believe we all in the nonprofit realm can understand that it is very challenging to get the proper fundings, especially when you're starting out, especially when you don't have an official 990, and most grants require you to have a 990, especially when you're in competition with your neighbor for the same grant, especially when you got to fight and beg almost for someone to come and volunteer and help you out. So the mentality that James has brought to the table is trying to get people of the nonprofit world to come together in some way or form. Because one thing I realized, we can all do great things if we just work together. Like I know, people got this mentality, oh, I do this, I do that, but we need to really start saying I and start saying we have done this, we have done that. Trust me, it's possible. I've been able to form 12 nonprofits to work together, but we have to realize that there's no, little you, big me, and all that nonsense. We have to realize that, all right, when it's my time to take the mantle and move forward, it's all of us going forward together. So, with this vision that James has put on the table, and not only with helping out nonprofits, but also with for-profit businesses, like he's also a young man that's also trying to be in business for himself. So I want to push that you guys support him, rent out his spot, tear it up. Well, don't tear it up, but rent out his spot and show him the love that he deserves to be able to do more and get a bigger space possibly so he could do more of what he desires. Because I believe if we invest in those that are investing in others, it's going to come back to us because they're never going to forget that. Okay, so James, what's your address for your event spot? So just to be on the record.
Yeah, so it's 6504 Old Branch Avenue, Camp Springs, Maryland.
And for those that are greedy and fat like me, he's down the street from Topolino's.
Topolino's, right? Yeah.
Okay.
And a couple steps, and you there. Yeah.
So yeah. So I'm gonna keep on moving. Brother Jeff, we met briefly at the at my library where you came, and we had a acquaintance. We had a friend, mutual friend that I shall not name, but but we had a friend named LaDonna. Shout out to LaDonna for hooking us up. We talked, and you heard my passion a little bit. Maybe I was aggressive, I don't know, but
I heard it.
but and I heard what what you do and what you are trying to do, and also took a peep at your website as well. And one thing that caught me about, especially, I know you had other things, but one thing that caught me was the cementing foundations and what you guys were trying to do as far as building up men. What exactly can we do to support that? Because I know, I don't know how you operate as far as getting the jobs, but if people knew more about what you're doing and how you do it, and they hire you or your program to come and teach boys or men how to be able to do these types of projects, because that skill set costs a lot of money. It costs a lot of money. I'm in real estate. I know it costs a lot of money, and just to be able to do that on a basis of just come, hey, don't worry about nothing else. Just come. Let me teach you this. Tell us, how can we invest that back into you? Say, look, send men there, give him projects to do so he can do more of it, and wherever else he needs, make sure that we provide those needs. How can we offer that for you?
The thing about what I try to do with through my organizations is that some people say I'm kind of all over the place, but I just generally want to help people. Honestly, men, young men, even women regarding the domestic violence piece. I've partnered with domestic violence organizations because that's something near and dear to my heart as well. I also want to say to James, that's a great thing you're doing, brother. It's great because there's so many times where you want to have a function and invite people out just to really to try and better them. But when you find venues, and I've tried it, and they want to basically charge you as if you're having a a party there and selling tickets
Yeah.
when you're just trying to reach the people. And that was one of the reasons why in 2018 I ran for county council, because I felt my county was lacking so much and there needed to be a voice. I'm not a politician, but I said, well, you know what? I wanted to leave the county. I told my family, I said, you know what, we're moving. We're gonna leave this county. But then I said, you know what, that's not how you solve problems. You don't solve problems by running away and leaving them for your neighbor, for the next people. You get into where you can make some decisions. And that's why I ran my campaign. One of the things I wanted to do was to come up with, if you're familiar with the area, right off Woodyard Road, where there used to be a Kmart and things of that nature. Part of my campaign, I wanted to make that a career center, not just a job fair place, but a career center where people can go and get training and get job leads that lead to a career. But my opponents, they said we want to put a Harris Teeter at a Harris Teeter and another grocery store there, and they end up putting a DTLR. So these things, these things don't build up our community. And at the same time, they were asking, how can we get Amazon to come to Prince George's County? My thing was, again, during my campaign, I said, if we show that we're looking to build up the people who will make a difference working for Amazon and give them the skill sets and things of that nature, Amazon will probably come to Prince George's County. But we got a DTLR and an Aldi's. And that's what they did with it, So I wanted to try and change the focus, and I'm not going to stop, because the focus and the narrative does need to be changed. Now, as far as getting people in the community, and I said hiring earlier, I want to reword that. It's not hiring, it's contracting with them, because they're contracted with my company, as far as you're working for me and I'm paying you for a hard day's work. And I don't pay $4 or $5 an hour. I pay a really good wage for one day of work. Some say I pay too much, but I build that into the contracts, so people can walk away and say, oh, okay, well, I made this money. I can go out and make money for myself on a regular basis. I feel better about myself. And another thing, this to James, that we're kind of in the same circles and don't realize it, for one thing, because I noticed Darian said you worked at the prisons. I actually go to the prisons. Well, not so much lately because of COVID, but we used to go to the prisons a couple times a year and speak to the men there. It was a program called Fatherhood Behind the Walls. And what we did was we talked to men who had children out here, and we talked to them about still being active dads, even though you're in jail. Mm-hmm. And also to the men who were coming home soon, to prepare them for coming home, because honestly, you did X amount of time. Your child's mother may have moved on, but you're still that child's father. So we talk about that, talk about obstacles regarding being a dad for your child, seeking employment, not getting frustrated because you have blemishes on your records, and still trying to maintain your mental health. Myself, I am a mental health professional by trade. I've been working in DC for the past 12 years, but I actually just started the other day, Monday. I just started working at the adult drug court in Prince George's County. What excited me about that position was that it was an opportunity to help out people front line, because you may have drug charges, but there may be other things that led you down that path. Yeah. I don't want to, just be your probation officer. I want to know, okay, what can we do to change your path? What can we do to make you see things differently? And I did that in DC. I used to run the substance abuse groups in DC with C. Sosa, and now I want to do the same thing in Prince George's County, because at the end of the day, I love my community. I ain't gonna leave it, and I'm only want to make it better. And I think that's all of our jobs as humans, to make those around us better people.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, let me just say, I was going to call you your full long Jeffrey name.
You don't have to. Look,
You know,
James is calling me Mr. Jeff, making me feel
I know.
Respect.
So I like the fact in hearing you speak about the drugs and all these things, you know, with men. I was very close to my youngest brother, who passed away a few years ago. He suffered. He suffered. He was single dad raising his kids, but you know, because he didn't have that outlet to talk to, you know, as he was going through those struggles, and due to alcoholism and drugs, you know, that led him to his demise. But he was functioning, but he suffered inside. Eventually, and that's another piece that Ellen Foundation is going to add on, is, you know, about drug and resources, because
Right.
that goes hand in hand with domestic violence. So that's also a piece that we're going to add on, because, you know, watching my brother as he went through all of those struggles, and you know, I've had friends that have struggled with drugs and alcohol as well, and just to see what that does and how it heightens that you know, heighten your emotions from one side of the realm to the other, and most of the times when it heightens it, it's not a really great experience. You know, it just takes you off realm. So definitely want to talk more with you about that too.
Definitely. Because, and that's another thing. What I found is so many in our community, they either won't ask for help, or they don't know where to go for help, and they don't know who to turn to for help. So, like you said, they suffer inside. And you know, it's definitely not a good thing at all. And my condolences on the loss of your brother. And
Thank you so much.
you know, I see it literally every day. And there a lot of times society just says, oh, he's a drunk, or oh, he's a drug addict. But there's 9.5 times out of 10, it's not that they just want to be high or they just want to be drunk. They're self-medicating, and
They're
they don't know
stuck.
right, and they don't know what else to do, but they turn to that drug, they turn to that bottle, and because that's that temporary fix.
Yeah, this is great conversations going on. That's one of the reasons why I got the three of you all on this particular show, because like y'all already know how I work. Well, Jeff, we kind of just met, but you'll get to know me real soon. But you know, I put things in order, because I know you three working together can do awesome things, because y'all both, all three of you all have something the other needs in some way or format. And like what I'm also, the bigger picture that I'm trying to put for this show is the fact that we don't always necessarily have to just refer people to somebody. We could just bring them together.
Absolutely.
This is my way of bringing folks together.
Absolutely.
And you guys know, because you don't really know nobody unless you hear what they got to say. You know, and you know, like, it's so many things that we miss. And a question I want to ask you guys is, how can we get, because James had mentioned it earlier about, so, you know, we both had our conversation about so many nonprofits and just PG alone, you know, PG alone, so many nonprofits and PG alone, but there's so many that really don't know each other. I run into people that, oh, you have a nonprofit? What is it? Oh, that's amazing. Let me get your contact, you know, and then, but what I realize is that the follow-up is poor with some people. Oh, they promise they're going to do this or do that, You never do it. I never heard from them. So we don't. We want to end that whole I would call it stronghold against our people and against the fact that we can't work together. We want to delete all that. We want to start fresh on a whole new level. So my question to you guys is, how can we get either for profit, non-profit, doesn't matter. It's people in business. How can we get us to all work together where nobody's stepping over nobody, that we just support each other with the resources that we have? What's y'all intake on that? Open question for anybody.
I don't know if it's a one quick fix solution. I think obviously it depends on the person. Like, we want to work with someone that doesn't mind. Everyone can't be the star player. Everyone can't be Jordan. Someone has to be Scotty. Someone, all the other players on the team. So I think once you find those like-minded individuals that are okay with taking a backseat, like, someone has to be the one that has to be the face of whatever this program is. Someone has to reach out. Someone has to do all the logistics. I think you just have to find those people. And then you say, all right, we can be the all. Because you don't, and again, I don't say you have to collaborate with everybody. Again, you can't bring everybody with you. I believe that wholeheartedly. As much as you may want to, because you can see the bigger picture, you have to find those that have your same vision and stick with them. Because even, again, if there are 20 nonprofits out here, if I could just need 5. I just need 5 of us to work together, and we can make that same work of the 20. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know if it's a one, like, we can't make anyone want to work with us. But again, once you find those genuine people that have your same heart, your same mindset for wherever the cause is, that's why I think it's a lot easier. Now we just put our egos to the side. I think ego is a huge thing. I'm not in the nonprofit space. I do speak to many of the CEOs of them. Like, it's always well, I can do this better than them. Well, if that's the case, talk to them and see how you can assist them. Like, I really think ultimately it's an ego thing, and someone wants to be the head man or head woman in charge. I think once we learn to put that to the side, then things just get a lot easier. But again, that's me looking from the outside looking in. I would love to hear the ones that are in the space. What do you all think can be done?
Well, I agree with you, and not only the ego aspect of it. A lot of nonprofits are afraid that you're going to take what is theirs, what their grants, or you're going to reach more into the community. So I think that's also that they're operating out of fear more so, because they're afraid that, oh, if I share this information with this organization, then they're going to be out front, versus I know this, this, how can we put this together and become unified? And that's what keeps a lot of the nonprofits separate. And also, and speaking, when I started my organization's just just over 5 years old now, but when I started, no one wanted to tell me anything. Mine came from trial and error. And then when they saw oh, she's starting to get some traction going, then I call them the hanger-ons, the crabs. They want to hang on, because even though they don't want to put into you, now that you're getting stabilized, now they want to latch on to you, to blow themselves up. So I think you're right that we have to make sure that we find like-minded individuals in order to continue to reach the community and help. And then from there, then we collaborate. How do we reach these other organizations, or these other founders and executive directors, or directors, whatever you want to call them, who are working out of fear? And that's going to take a minute. So that's something we gotta tiptoe really lightly on there.
Operating out of fear.
Brother Jeff.
Just to add to piggyback on what Pam said, you're absolutely right. Just a quick something that wasn't in my bio, because I don't even talk about it anymore. But I used to do stand-up comedy years ago, and I used to get frustrated because actually a lot of my friends wouldn't come out and support me to my shows. I would invite them and they wouldn't come. But along the way, I met a lot of other comedians who were basically on the same grind I was, you know. And I met a comedian. He's actually passed. He actually wrote a couple episodes of Martin the Fat Doctor, and he saw my frustration one day, and he told me, he said, "Don't get frustrated." He said, "My friends didn't support me until they saw me on television, but we need that support when we're trying to get to television, you know." So, and I bring that up to say that it's not as simple as it sounds, but it's really about finding like-minded people that want to grow together, that want to James touched on it, when you're it's about finding a, dare I say, a team where you can count on this person to do this person to do that, this person to do this.
That's
And
right.
everyone holds their weight, and you're building and you're growing together. And I brought up the comedy story because a lot of times when that happened, then like you said, Pam, you got the hangers on, and you got the, oh yeah, that's my man. You know, I know you had a nonprofit, and you know, oh man, what we gonna do, man? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
but then you're like, you know, you don't want to turn your back because you're good hearted by nature. But you're like, okay, well, you know what? Let me give you a task, kind of like Jody did with his buddy on Baby Boy. Sell this dress. You know what? Let me see how good you are. Do this. Come back to me, and then you know we can go from there. You know, but again, I just think it's about the grassroots part, and finding again like-minded people to say, hey, look, we're gonna try and pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and make this happen for our community, because in the end, that's who benefits.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Y'all speaking some truth tonight, and I hope whoever listening, y'all absorbing everything they saying. And so from coming from that point of view, we all know that one of the challenging things is to keep the attention of our youth and young adults, even so that what advice that you could give each other, or that you have for the people that you may have used or that you may need, that you could say that, hey, look, use this way because it will attract them, or use that way, it will bring them to us. Because I found out that if they don't start off realizing someone cares or love them, they could find their own methods of how to love themselves. And sometimes, you know, just like what you said, Jeff, you know, they self-medicate. It's not always alcohol, it's not always drugs, you know, it's stuff, it's other stuff. Maybe, you know, you get happy at robbing somebody. Like to see somebody in pain because he in pain. You know, she likes to go with different boyfriends every other week or whatever, you know, stuff that does not help them. But ever since I became a realtor, you know, I realized that teaching folks about investing is a whole nother level of using your mind for something different. So, in you guys' thoughts, you know, how do you attract the younger generation to go, you know, seek help in your program, or to be a part of your program to enrich them, or just to use them to show them there's more to life than what you're used to, what you grew up in? I know I'm hitting y'all with deep questions. Just
that's one of those age-old questions. Like, it's like, how do I get my kid to eat vegetables? It's like, here's my thing. Like, I love working with children. As Darian knows, the Boys Read program, even in my event space, I had a like a basic stock market fundamentals 101 course that was every Wednesday for a month straight. And I get so confused when parents say, my kid doesn't know anything about money. They could be in the 5th, 6th grade. The schools would never teach them. Like, we all know this, right? This isn't new. Even I'm sure maybe when you were all in school, did you all get taught about money?
No.
Like, at all? Right? So this has been going for a while. Even I'm 20 years old, never learned about it in school. My parents had to teach me. So I'll say with all of us knowing that, if I'm offering a program, wouldn't it behoove you to say, you know what? I know my son or daughter will never get this, but here's this young man who's offering it for little to next to nothing. Why wouldn't I take that opportunity? One, I think is because they don't see the value in it. So I think the first thing to get people attracted, you have to tell them why they should. I can't just tell you eat your vegetables. I have to tell you why, because it will help you be, you know, big and strong, or help you digest and all this kind of things. You have to give them the benefits first. And all the time, the benefits may not attract them, right? But with kids in particular, and again, I hate to say this because like this shouldn't be the only reason, but they love money. They kids love anything involving money. So when I did my stock program, the very first day when we're getting, it's all about mindset first, right? Before I teach you any kind of skill, I had to get you into the mindset as to why this is good for you for the future. So you're 13 now. This will all make a lot more sense to you when you're 30. But I had to change your mind first. I told them at the end of the class, if you all come every single Monday, I will buy you 2 shares of whatever company that you want. They said, oh, really? You're going to give me money? I'm like, I'm not giving it to you, but I'm buying you a piece of an asset that you will own for the rest of your, or as long as you choose to hold it. So one kid said, I'm going to stay just for that. So I said, you mean to tell me beforehand, if I didn't offer you that, you wouldn't have stayed? He said, no. So I'm like, okay, these kids have to get something in return. I'm saying, I can't be mad at that. So that's one thing I always say. We have to ask the kids, what do I have to do for you to come? We may not want to ask that because we're the adults, we know better, and we know that we know better. We know that we're wiser, maybe, because some kids go through a lot. They are wise too. But with experience comes, with age comes experience. But I don't see a problem in reaching out to kids and asking them, hey, what do we need to do as the adults to get you to come and really buy into this program? Because this world doesn't move forward without the kids. We're going to be old as dirt at some point, and we're not going to run the world anymore. But these kids have to, right? So I think we really need to come to them and ask, what do you need? What can I say to convince you? What do I need to tell you in order for you to, hop on this program and make them feel comfortable? Have, like icebreakers, have them have sessions, get some peace or whatever, just so they can hear you out. Because even, and it's not, I didn't put in my bio, but I created a relationship building card game a couple years ago called Couple Up, right? And when I created the game, I'm not a salesman at all, but I learned that people don't necessarily always buy the product or the service, but they buy from someone that they know, like, and trust. So I think once you get to the kids and actually show them you're a real person, you're not just this adult, I'm the authority, you're going to do what I say. Once they understand, like, this is someone that I can actually relate to, they're more willing to trust you. Even with my kids that I coach at track, which I had to run over here. That's why I was all crazy in the background because Darian had me rushing for track practice.
Should never had it.
But I love the kids so much. I know what I bring in that mentorship piece. Some of the girls, they would never speak to me at practice. They'll do what I say. It was never a talk. Hey, Coach James, Coach Peteet, what can I do? It was never that. This year it's starting to click because I'm showing more of my personality. I'm showing that I really care. I'm texting their parents. Hey, make sure Coco and Layla do this. Tell them I say, hey, how was their day at school? Like, it's the little things that kids really care. They just want to be cared for. And I think we really show them that we care for them genuinely, not just for the photo ops, because I've seen a lot of that. Darian can attest to that too. A lot of adults do things just for the photo ops. And kids, whether we know it or not, they can see it.
I mean, name them. It's
they can see that, they can feel that, and they're not going to be attracted to those kind of adults. So we had to be as genuine as humanly possible. Everyone's not built to work with kids. I get it. Let those that are, let them work with the kids because the kids can feel it. So give them an incentive and be your genuine self because kids will naturally go to who they know, like, and who they feel like they can trust.
Yeah. I agree. You definitely have to be genuine. And so Ellen Foundation has a small STEM program for the youth. Coming from a family of educators, that was something that was very that was very important to us. You understand the language and the math and the science. But what I found when I added this program on is that I had to learn to truly meet the kids where they were. Like, I couldn't meet them up here. I had to meet them right where they were in whatever situation they were. And it worked. And you had to be very genuine. Like you said, James, they can see right through you if you're not if you're not genuine. They can spot it. And what for our STEM program, at first we would bring people in and sit and talk in this, but after a while they just got so bored, and I had to go back and look at what worked for my children when they were younger, and they love to have fun. So we partnered with iFly here in Gaithersburg, and they donated slots to us for up until I think it's 20 students at our when we bring them in. But before they go and get 2 jumps into that tunnel, they have to sit down and they have to, we'll bring someone in to talk to them, and they hear that engine going, and you have to, it's like, you got to do this if you want to get in there and fly. And that seems to work, and it gets them engaged. It's not that they're just sitting there learning. What we've learned to do is get them engaged. And we found when hosting these children at iFly, they become engaged with the work, with the understanding of science and math and technology. They get it, because now they're apt to be like, oh, this is fun, because flying an airplane or driving a car or DJing and all this other stuff, that all centers around math and science. So we've added those fun tidbits in to meet them where they are, to get them to understand what we're doing, and it seems to work so far.
Brother Jeff.
And just to piggyback on what Pam and James said, I believe that basically the greatest thing you can do to a child or adolescent is support them.
Mm-hmm.
The worst thing you can do is lie to them.
Mm-hmm.
And when you come across young people, you just gotta talk to them. Don't overpromise, because a lot of them have seen that their whole lives,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, oh, you're just another one of them. One thing I do when I meet young people, I'll just straight up ask them, like, what do you want to do? Where do you want to be? Where do you see yourself? And they may say what their goal is, and so I'll say, okay, that's the goal. All right, now what are the steps that it's going to take you to get to that goal? It may take you 5 steps, it may take you 10 steps, but before you can just jump right into what your goal is, we have to start taking those steps. And because I asked that question, that
Mm-hmm.
I let them know that this is me letting you know that I'm willing to help you take these steps to reach that goal. And once we reach that goal, let's start a next goal. Then we could take more steps. But again, it's all about being real with the young people and letting them know that, hey, not by saying you can trust me, but by showing them you can trust me. This is what I want to help you do, and I'm going to stick by in the plan that we devised to help you get there. Because like James said, we're going to be old one day, and we're going to need them to look to. Again, I ran for county council in 2018, and about 20 years from now, I'm not going to be running for county council, but some of these young people are, and we're going to need to turn to them. When we getting out AARP and all that, we're going to, hey, we need you to go to bat for us.
I mean, some people in office right now. I mean, that's okay. Let me.
Darian. See, messy.
No, but I hear you, and I appreciate all you guys' honesty and truth. So we running up to an hour of us talking, and I don't like to keep you guys over the time, but for those that may want to work with you or reach out to you or donate to you or participate with you or help you out, whatever the case may be. How can they reach you? Where do they donate? How can they get involved with your future projects? Just put it out there for the people to see. Sister Pam.
You can always visit the website. It's www.thelmfoundation.org, or you can call the office 301-304-6651. You can send me an email. This comes right to me, which is my first initial P, last name Price, at thelmfoundation.org. Oh, and follow us on social media. Instagram, Twitter is Ellen Foundation 1.
Oh, yeah, you gotta make sure you hit that in there.
Yeah, I gotta be like, yeah, you gotta follow us, man.
And if they personally want to get involved with helping you get the house, well, getting involved with the house, because I'm gonna help you get the house. But anything dealing with that, what exactly can they do? or what do you
Uh,
need?
uh, definitely sponsors, looking for sponsors to help us reach this goal. Going to be working with you to find a location. Um, when we get the sponsors, we're definitely going to need how to fit it. We're going to need towels and toiletries and furniture and all those things for the house. So definitely shoot me an email, give me a call, and let's walk through whatever whatever you can donate, wherever you can help would be great.
Awesome, awesome, brother James. How can people get involved with you and your business?
Got you. So I'm on Facebook, even though I know Facebook is like an old thing. I still enjoy getting on Facebook and seeing birthdays. My name is just James Peteet, Peteet on Facebook. For the event space, you can follow us at Next Generation Event Studio on Instagram, or if you just want to call directly or text, actually rather text. Don't blow my phone. But the number you can call is 301-664-4695. And I'm really looking forward to working with other you two, not Darian, but you two, Miss Pam,
Okay.
Mr. Jeffrey. I would definitely like to work with you all with the event space and any other nonprofit that you may know of, because like I said, I understand that having a space is an asset for you all. And I want you to come in and spread your gifts, or even it's like a meet and greet or something, just for them to know who you all are. Like, you show that personality, you show the genuineness, you show the care. People are bound, the right people, the like-minded individuals. We can't bring everyone with us. I've come to understand that. Like, I'm not here to bring everybody. I would love
That's
it,
right.
but I know it's not the reality. So I'm going to take those that want to come.
That's
And,
right.
and I want to add on that those is watching, remember, we got something brewing up in his event space on a Friday. Don't remember the date, but
April
we'll
22nd.
have the flyer. Yeah, we'll have the flyer together and ship it out to everybody that has a nonprofit. Sorry, for-profit businesses, you ain't invited to this one. Y'all get everything, but but we definitely just want to enrich our nonprofits in the community and just kind of network. And I'm talking about those that are afraid to network. We want you because y'all have some really great hearts, great programs, and all you need is the resources and the partnerships. That's it.
That's it.
So, brother Jeff.
I can be reached. Anyone can check out my website, cementingfoundations.org. I can be reached along with James on Facebook. I can be reached on Instagram. Both my page are public, so you don't even need to friend me. You can just come and snoop around if you want. Both of them are in my name, Jeffrey Rasco. Jeffrey J. Raz Rasco. A lot of people call me J. Raz. That was my name. That was my stage name when I did comedy, and it resonated onto the streets. But you can call or text me. I give you my direct cell 202-679-4000. And I don't have a problem doing that because I've had that number since 1998 and everybody has my number anyway. So feel free to give me a call at any time. Pam, I will be partnering with you at the house. I get stuff all the time. People
Wonderful.
would just call me and say, hey, you need this? Hey, you need this? And I was just like, yeah, I'll take it. I honestly, like, there's a senior home in Prince George's County I partner with because I had people giving me adult diapers. So now every month I give them adult diapers. I just drop them off and say, here, if your residents need them, they can have them, so anything can be used. I partnered with someone else who had a house situation the way what sounds like what you're trying to do, and everything I got them furniture, clothes, shoes, everything. So I'm on board to help with that.
Wonderful. Thank you.
And also, you guys are formally invited to my annual Father's Day cookout. Again, this will be year 24. I have free t-shirts for the first 50 fathers in attendance. It's gonna be. I've moved it to Costco Park because I'm in Prince George's County now. So I'm at it's at Costco Park and in Clinton. It'll be on Father's Day. There are a lot of events that are held the day before Father's Day, which I don't really get, but it's gonna be on Father's Day. Because if we're not doing anything on Father's Day, we're not doing anything on Father's Day. And that's my point, to do something on Father's Day. So Father's Day, I don't know what day it is, but it's the third Sunday in June. I'll be at the park all day. There'll be food, fun, and everything from the older folks to the kids, and we just have a good time. And yeah, so people can just reach me any way you choose. And again, Darian, I appreciate you. Salute, my brother. Thank you for having me on this panel, meeting these two great people. And
Absolutely.
I'm not a genie, but I see us all working together in the very near future.
I do
Absolutely.
too.
For sure.
I do
Absolutely.
too.
So, and for the viewers that are watching, I do want to share this real quick. I have an event coming up on the 19th that you got to either come, bring someone, or invite somebody. And we close
19th
up
of
real
this
quick.
March of March. Oh, here you go.
Right there, it's coming up on the 19th of March. Okay, this on a Saturday, 12 to 3. This is a home buying and investing seminar. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
like we really need to get into the mindset of either buying a home or investing in a property where we can make money off of. And I say this wholeheartedly. We really got to change our mindset of how we get money now. Okay, times are changing. We really got to realize that, I don't know much about the investing on in the stocks and all that stuff. That's James Wave,
I got you.
but I know everything that deals with investing in land because it does not lose its value. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you could blow it up, you could chop it up, it's still gonna be the same. And and most of all, we have to build on top of it to be able to get more of what we want. There are people that are taking over, cutting down trees, and they're selling it by the mile. Okay, and we're paying for these prices. Okay, and we have to realize that we need to catch it before it explodes. Like, people don't realize Baltimore is doing the same thing that happened, in DC. Nobody wanted to buy in DC, and now if you want to get in DC, you're spending minimum
Yeah.
900.
Arm and a leg.
Minimum
Really.
900,000 for properties
Yeah.
that don't even look worth it. Baltimore's getting there, so we have to really get down into it. We got some great speakers. It's going to be coming. Really great speakers. It's going to be coming, especially my brother Johnny. He's made over $4 million doing investing while working, and he's a freaking, I don't even know, captain or sorry, I don't know what he is, but he's in the army. He does some great stuff doing that. So, and he's doing that full time. So it is possible for you to have a job and invest. Come there. We're giving out free produce. We're giving out groceries. We're giving out everything that we can give out. I give you my clothes if I ain't need to go home and wear them. But
What's your clothes there?
but that's just my 2 cents about that. Thank you guys for joining and participating and to see this talk, this understanding of networking, and I hope that we can be able to come on here again and kind of have a reunion and talk about what we've done. That way, people know that this is real.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
so I appreciate you guys. Guys, y'all already know what the deal is. If y'all want to reach me, I'm about to show you how. Just give a round of applause to my folks so we could be able to have a good. That I ain't even have a chance to. He must have froze up. He must have froze up. I saw him a little still, but I get him later. But nah. But
That's hungry.
and family, check this out.